Hey y'all, Kymology here for a Kymology Exhibit. I am striving to continue this video thing and resisting the doubts or concerns I have about it not being more planned or a clear purpose or a clear, this is what I'm here to tell you about today. I'm really working against that for the idea that it might be possible that things that aren't like that have value too. Like how I write, I just write. And I think I'm striving for something similar here where I just talk. It's just expression. And as much as I have some feelings about not using the word just because I think it's used to diminish something in many instances, I'm gonna say it here because that is what I was doing, I guess. So day 8 without Dooder. Yesterday was a week. It still gets me. I'm laughing because I thought I thought I would be able to say that and not cry. Day 8 without Dooder, and I'm day 4 at the beach on this trip about him. And it's been an interesting time. I guess it's a great lesson or illumination on expecting things or having ideas about what you want something to be. And I think it is even more strongly presenting to me that I have like a huge awareness about dichotomies or paradoxes or opposites, and I should probably actually look up those words at some point and get the distinctions on the difference between a dichotomy and a paradox and an opposite. But I for a while now have known that I feel really drawn to opposites or see opposites everywhere. I can remember years ago when I was first starting 30-day challenges, I was at the top of my mountain, and I think it was the first time that the phrase "when to which" came to me. That's the thing that I think of as a chemism, when to which. And in that instance, I was thinking of when is it, if it's meant to be, it will be, or versus if you want it, like go get it, and all the variations of both those sides, because both could be true at any time. And often times the way I experience the world and what people say is that people will present one side of it. Like if I say something in a post, someone will say, if it's meant for you, it'll come, or be patient. And it's like, sure, that's accurate. And the opposite is accurate or true or possible also. So it's really interesting to me. Again, the prayer hands, man. What is that? Why am I doing that? It's really interesting to me when we think of the right way. And I think often, I think it's true for me, and I think it's therefore must be true for others, although that's slippery logic, that we often will state one without considering the other. Like we have a feeling because of where we are in our own lives that whatever one we're saying is the right one. So if I tell someone be patient, it's a reflection of where I'm at in my life and what's important and what I'm observing. And often it doesn't also include the other side of that, which is if you really want it, go get it. And I think I'm special, but I think I am different in that way, and that I usually do see the opposite. It's not usually one way for me, but I experience others as that. Like you usually get the one side of it. That's what I'm trying to point to here. And the reason I explain that to you is because I think on this trip it has become even more significant or profound to me seeing those things. So many opposites. Like there's never one way. It's almost always, if not always, a when to which. And that thought was coming from that I thought it would be a certain way when I got here, that I was coming to do this. I had like some ideas about what this was going to be. And then when I got here, it was not that. And then the fact that I was surprised that it wasn't that, I thought I was like silly for being surprised about that, because I should have also been aware of that. So even in that moment, I was, it'll be the way you want it to be, make it the way you want it to be, and then wasn't including the dichotomy or the paradox or opposite of that, which is it's probably not going to be what you expect, and be ready to go with that. Although probably underlyingly I was ready and willing and all those things, the initial thought was still like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. And what to share about that? I mean, what I thought it was going to be, I thought that I was going to, just drawing on what I think I remember from before I was here and having this context, I think I thought, okay, this hurts a lot, and I'm going to go and I'm going to process this hurt, whatever that meant. I felt like a strong draw to write and create, and that was the way I was talking about it. And then once I got here, I noticed that I wasn't writing or creating right away, and that felt like resistance, or maybe it was resistance or avoidance. And then I also thought, like, I want to create. Like, I have been wanting to do a book for so long that I felt like maybe this was it. Maybe this was the thing that would propel me in some way to finally do it. Like, what is it that's holding me back or keep, like, clearly it's something me that's doing that, but what is it? And maybe this will be the final thing, because I think that big hardships or tragedies or near-death or death experiences have the capacity to be powerful in those ways. You can make really big change if you can use those things that happen to you. And a lot of people use them, I won't say unconsciously. It seems like people like get like a wake up, and then it's just like, this is the only way. And there are times or people that have what you would think would be a near-death experience and then don't make that kind of change. And you're wondering about that. At least I have done that. And like, how many near-death experiences do you need to do something, fix your life, claim your life, have your life? Which leads into a whole other area of like, what does it mean to fix your life? And that presupposes that there's something that needs to be fixed. So this trip has been interesting. I'm at day 4, already feeling like it's not long enough. And that being said, when I don't even really have an end date, like I have the date I'm booked here too, but I could extend that, and I could also go somewhere else after this, you know? But that's been interesting too, because I thought years ago when I quit my real job, I said, or before that actually, because I liked my job at that time, and I said, I hated all the things that would say like looking forward to the weekend or waiting for a vacation. And I to those things I said, I want a life that I don't need a break from. I don't want a vacation from. So I'd like reject the concept of vacation, because I love my life. My life is my work is my life. It's all integrated, and it's what I want. I don't have these like separate things, is how I've organized my life. And so when I thought about this trip, I was like, is this a break? Were you taking a break? What is this? And so I worked on that in some writing this morning, and I don't think I'm betraying my vacation philosophy, and it came up for me. It was interesting. So it's been chilly and overcast. I've gone to the beach every day. I didn't walk down to the sand this morning when I went to the sunrise, and I knew my mom would be upset about that, and I kind of haven't told her. And she said, "Do your toes in the sand?" And I sent her a picture of something else, because I was trying not to have that like response to my mom where it's like, you know, the people that you're closest to, and what is that dynamic of like, they could say one thing and someone else could say the exact same thing, and the way they say it affects you very differently, you know, for the good and the bad, you know. You might not know. I don't know why I don't like saying things like that. You don't know. I don't know if you know. It's been chilly. I'm inside today, which feels good because I did a big writing session, worked on some really dynamic thoughts that came up. I often say that there's a type of thought that is the kind that you're like working on, you're not sure that it's the one, or you're not sure yet if it's how you actually feel, and you're either still working on it, or you may never know for sure whether you feel it or not. And I say that it's a special kind of person who can field those kinds of thoughts, like a person who can receive a thought and know that it is a thought you're not committed to, you're not married to, and then not hold it against you or for you or to you. Either way, it's just like a landing spot where you're not actually landing. It's like stuff that's tossed in and then disappears almost. You can't talk to everyone like that. You can, but I wouldn't advise it. And it doesn't feel comfortable when you talk to a person who doesn't receive you in the way where after these unfinished thoughts can just kind of not be something that is a tangible aspect of your relationship. And the writing this morning was like that for me. Sometimes this happens in writing, sometimes it happens in talking. And when it happens in writing, I used to have these fears of like, if someone ever read this and thought this is really what I really thought. And this is a thought I'm having right now. I hadn't thought about this today or recently. I used to have a lot of fear about writing and how I ain't got that no more. I mean, whoever has to deal with my stuff when I die, it's gonna probably be interesting if I don't burn it before then. And what's there, the fact that I can remember being so afraid or so many concerns about writing and how it's just not there anymore. And maybe the lesson is in just doing the thing. The more comfortable you get with something, it all changes. And so while I'm here, not here literally, but like the place in my life obsessing about what's my thing and how do I want to make money doing my thing and writing this book, and it's not all about money, although it is about money, because I want to make money doing my thing. I don't want to go get some other job. And like even talking about that is hard and uncomfortable because people have strong feelings about stuff like that, and those expressed feelings can feel pretty shitty when you're the recipient of them. Like, get a real job, or what you're doing is asking for a handout. And getting on to another topic that maybe I will cover soon. But that to say, what was I saying about that? Lost it. Usually I find it before I move on in these things. I think I'm gonna stop there. The exhibit for today, day 8 without Dooder and day 4 at the beach. Really bothering me that I can't remember what I was talking about, why I was saying that. Oh, about if I could figure out, I'm glad I found it, if I could use that in my life now, what would that be? That meaning the fact that I just wrote, made it so that I wasn't afraid of it anymore. The concerns like just disappeared over time. It wasn't even something I was aware of at the time, I don't think. And at this point I'm looking back like, I don't know when I stopped worrying about that stuff, but I just know that I don't anymore. But I can still remember this time. So if I did that about what now in my life, what would that look like? If I was irreverent about what other people thought of how I make money or asking for money, and just saying that right now when I'm grieving about Dooder, rolled my eyes because I feel like I've received some comments about using sadness, like milking it or something, as if I'm doing this to profit only, or I don't know. We're at 14 minutes and I'm not going to go into that right now. Still try not to say So to use that what happened with the writing in some other place in my life is the thought I just had. If you are following along and appreciate what I'm doing, thank you. And I always appreciate any words of encouragement. Maybe you're not supposed to, and maybe that's what will happen with that, is like after I get enough, or after the practice of it for a while, I won't need it or want it or won't appreciate it, or it won't be significant. And in the meantime, it is helpful. So when you tell me or anyone who's doing something that you resonate with, or that they're providing some good in your life, don't hesitate to tell them. I don't think. Just tell them, and tell them even when you think that you've already told them, because there's probably something there for you and for them. And if you ever feel to monetarily appreciate someone like that, I think also don't hesitate, because I think there are probably other people like me who are trying to do something good and haven't yet figured out how to monetize it. And just because they haven't monetized it in a way that makes it easy to pay for something, it doesn't mean that they're not worth paying, I think. I mean, if you can pay for a lunch, or want to take that person out to lunch, or you'd want to buy them a coffee or a drink or provide something to them, then do it. And even if it's not the coffee, just send them $20. Not that coffee costs $20, but whatever it is that you feel, you know, that's my point. Uncomfortably said. I'm gonna go now. Ciao for now.